Hi everybody, welcome to the Armory. Tonight I'm going to do a 5-minute video on this little guy right here. This is the North American Arms Earl. It's a 5-shot revolver, but as you can tell it's not your typical revolver, it's a mini revolver. Let me get you some close-ups here. So it's all stainless steel, and it's got wood grips. Like I said, it's 5-shot, and this cylinder can take 22 long rifle, 22 long or 22 short. But if you look right here, let me see, where's that? I don't know if you can see that, but it's marked 22 Magnum. And it actually came with a 22 Magnum cylinder as well. So you swap out the cylinder, you can shoot 22 Magnums. Otherwise, with this cylinder, you can shoot 22 long rifle. I actually got it for my kids. It's small enough to where they can comfortably handle it. And because it takes 22s, I like to shoot little Super Calibris, which are just the primer and no powder, so they're real quiet, no kick at all, really. And so the kids can shoot this gun with the 22 Calibris, and it's a pretty good experience for them. It's not too much gun for them, and it's not too loud for them. It's pretty quiet. So let me real quick show you how you take it down. So there's a little latch right there. Basically, you just push that toward the cylinder. This arm swings down. Then there's this little retaining pin that comes out. Sorry, first thing you should do is half cock it. And then once you half cock it, the cylinder comes right out. And the only thing I don't like about this gun is you have to do that every time you load it. So that can be time consuming. Just take the cylinder out, load it, shoot it 5 times, take the cylinder out again, and then usually end up using the retaining pin to pop the spent casings out of the cylinder. Otherwise they really don't like to come out. So the half cock is nice because it actually can act as a safety. So if you have the gun fully loaded and there's a live round in the chamber, or in all 5 chambers in the cylinder, if you half cock it, you can then rotate the cylinder, and then between, let me see if you can see these, between each chamber in the cylinder there's a little notch, and you can rest that hammer right in that notch. It's no longer half cocked, so you do kind of got to depress the trigger a little bit once you want to do that. So you can see if you half cock it, the cylinder rotates freely, and then you can either rest the hammer on a chamber or in one of those little notches. And if it's rested in notches between 2 chambers, and it can't, nothing could happen. Even if you dropped it or pounded on that hammer with a hammer, no round could go off because the hammer's not resting on an actual chamber in there. So anyway, it's all stainless, pretty straightforward. It's single action. You can see the trigger. It's kind of just a little nub of a trigger. I'll actually dry fire it for you. I'm not too concerned about dry firing this one. So you just push the trigger like you would anyone else. It's just a little knurled nub there. So that is the North American Arms Earl. MSRP on this guy is, I think, around $350. Picked this one up for about $320 after taxes and everything. I really like it. It's like I said, I bought it for my kids, under supervision, of course. But they have a lot of fun with it, and it's a good way to get kids used to shooting a handgun without worrying about, you know, whether or not they can control it, whether it's too heavy for them, whether it's too loud for them, or whether there's too much recoil for them. This one really has none of those problems, especially if you load it with like 22 shorts or 22 calibres. The kids will be able to shoot it no problem whatsoever. So let me think if there's anything else on this one. I don't think so. The sights. So it's just got this blade sight. Hopefully you can see that on the front, and then when the hammer's down you can see a little notch sight on the rear. So it's, hope you don't mind me pointing that at you. Pretty straightforward. You know, it looks like an old cap and ball revolver from the 1800s, an old style gun. And it's meant to look like that because really, I've seen other of these mini revolvers where it's just this retaining pin and it comes in and out and stays in. You don't need this. This little retention arm is pretty much there for decoration, I think. But it looks cool. Looks like something you could stick in your cowboy boot as a backup. So anyway, North American Arms Earl. Yeah, if you're in the market for a little mini revolver for whatever reason, I would highly recommend it. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.